Hello from Salt Lake City. Look, that's the Capitol behind me. Look, I'm not pointing at a word, I'm pointing at a real building right there. Oh my goodness. I have been in such a creative process since I have been back from Mexico, Egypt, and Paris. And anytime I go through big experiences, what wants to happen is expression. And some of you may have heard me talk about that before. When our experience and our expression isn't balanced, we get wonky, right? So if you have these deep experiences as little kids and there's no way to express it, that's why sometimes we get stuck in these earlier stages. There are talking heads out there that they just express, but you can tell it's not grounded in experience. We can feel that. And so it's always important to balance those two things. So is it time to express? Is it time to go in and have experience? When I do trainings, if I'm doing a 5-day training or something like that, the next day I plan to be quiet, to go in, to have body work, to come into my own experience and ground that expression. So just a little fun creation tool. It's really, really potent. When you feel off, when you feel exhausted, when you feel overwhelmed, you want to look at where your experience and expression is. That's just a little bonus tip today, because what I really wanted to talk to you about was something that I learned from my mentor, Michael Neal. He says, what is it you most want? Okay, every good coach asks that. All right, cool. Second thing is, how are you keeping it out? Is anything that we desire that we're not getting traction on, there's some way that we're keeping it out. It could be we're keeping it out by inaction. Well, what's that about? What is inaction about? Generally, inaction is connected to a fear that I'm not good enough, that I don't have anything of value, that something bad will happen if I create that. So there's always a part that's ours. In Byron Katie's work, she talks about my business, your business, and God's business. Well, I call it the universe, right? Or G. I like to call the universe G. So when I say I desire something, I don't know necessarily what has to change, what has to reorder itself, what has to happen for that to come into existence. My job is to continuously move in the general direction of that thing, right? That's my business. The universe's business is the timing, right? And my business is everything else, unless, of course, I bring in a partner. Then that would create their business, my business, and G's business altogether. So I wonder, my dear friends, what is it that you're keeping out right now? What is it that you're not allowing in for whatever reason? And a great place to look is, just an area where you've been working on something for a really long time and it's not changing, it's not happening. You want to get honest with yourself. And when you ask the question, how am I keeping it out? You've big key here. If you ask that question with judgment, you might as well not ask that question. You will create separation and there will be no awareness that comes in. You can ask the question from genuine curiosity, like, wonder why I'd want to keep that out. Let's see. I've asked to be a millionaire. Okay. Wonder why I don't want that. Curious. Having some fun, having some play, making some space, and really looking at, how am I keeping this out? Recently, I asked the question around my up level I've been asking for around money. And the universe came in a very creative way and basically brought the awareness to mind that I hadn't been trusting myself. At a very core level, I hadn't been trusting myself. I hadn't been trusting in my relationships, and I hadn't been trusting with money and with the universe. And I realized that even after all the changes I've had with money and the level of lifestyle I've chosen and created for myself, that I still was relating to money from a very old place and a really old construct. And I wonder if you can relate. I really feel so excited about this awareness. It's like, yeah, people do all these money courses and Sometimes it's about looking at the beliefs or taking massive action or getting new strategies. But essentially, if you don't change your fundamental relationship to that thing that you're asking for, right, then you're still going to kind of end up in the same boat, which for me was, it didn't matter how much money I had, I was still worried. I was so, okay, well, it's good now, right? And I was like, oh, I'm still relating from a very old construct. So, my friends, I have created a beautiful, deep dive into changing your relationship with money. It's called Becoming a Money Whisperer. That course is starting December 22nd, 10 a.m. For 17 days, I'm going to start out with a Zoom, and then I'm going to go into daily lives where I'm going to talk about what is it to create, how do you create a relationship from where you are now? How do you cultivate a healthy, peaceful, joyful relationship with the universe, essentially? But we're going to look at the universe through the lens of money. If you guys have done money work and you're still not where you want to be with money, like, please consider joining me. We're going to have fun, and we're going to start creating at a whole new level. I have to say that as I've been going through this process, that I have a peace around abundance and money flows that I've never had before. I've always, ever since I had my first big breakthrough with money, I've known that I can create it, and I've trusted myself that I'll always create it. But there is a peace I'm having and a flow that I'm having that I haven't had before, and it's beautiful, and I want you to have it too. So please consider joining me. There's a link below that has all the information that you could ever want, and in service of continuing you creating the life and living you really want, there are still a few spots left on our Wanderlust program that starts this Friday. I think it's the 18th. I'll put that link below too. Anyway, hello. I hope this video was helpful, regardless of whether you come and play and go deeper with me. That question is so powerful, you guys. Like, what do I want? How am I keeping it out? And the universe will show you, I promise. It's so powerful. I hope to see you somewhere very soon.